thing with breaching. Years of subconcussive blows causes, micro tears in your brain, and it's called astroglial scarring, and that causes your body to not function properly.
So then I guess one of the things that would be interesting to highlight as well is you were a breacher, which is if you could explain, what that kind of looks like, and, what task will often be assigned, because that is its own dynamic as well in terms of the physical impact.
Sure. When you get to your teams, there's a bunch of different skill sets that you can do. You can you can get involved in communications and intelligence and air operations and jumping and vehicle work and climbing, fighting, breaching, right? So sniping, these are all skill sets. And for me, my mentors, the individuals I looked up to, were like me. They were built like me. They maybe played college football or ball or whatever, bigger guys. Those guys went into breaching. And breaching is exactly what it sounds like. You breach, you go through doors, you go through windows, you learn to get into, places, you learn how to start cars without keys. It's really cool. You do a lot of cool stuff. And that's what I wanted to do. The main thing, I think, what most breachers enjoy, at least the ones that I know, is you like, blowing things up. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the best part, is you get to play with explosives as much as you want. And you get to play with them forever. And I liked it early on, and I continued, being a breacher all through my short career that I would consider. And the thing about breaching now, which is, again, fortunately or unfortunately coming out, is that years of breaching is catching up with individuals, right? And what they're talking about is we don't need to be fully concussed anymore to have the effects of it. It's called subconcussive blows, because so many times we are really close to the charge, and again, it's fun, but you're basically eating, a hit from the middle linebacker going full speed, constantly.
Yeah.
And you feel it. You feel your teeth chatter, you feel your brain chatter, you feel everything chatter. At the end of the day, you're literally blowing your nose and black smoke is coming out. That catches up with you. And I never understood, we'd be on the range and shoving, rounds in magazines all day, and then eating, and instructors hey, idiots, you have lead all over your hands. We're well, who cares? What does that mean? Well, it means a lot, but you really don't know. Mm-hmm. Same thing with breaching. Years of subconcussive blows causes, micro tears in your brain, and it's called astroglial scarring, and that causes your body to not function properly. Mm-hmm. Your sleep's off, your testosterone's low, you get angry, you get impulsive, so all the things that I was experiencing, and that literally so many are experiencing. Now, we can't pinpoint it on breaching, but they're all the same kind of overlapping symptoms of someone who's been diagnosed with PTSD, which it seems like everybody is. So is it a TBI from explosives or from hitting your head? Is it some PTSD from whatever incident or incidents? Is it shit that happened when you were a child? And is it stressors of life on the backside of that? Or, so you take all of it, it's kind of like a nuclear, nuclear option. And I think if you combine all of that, very difficult to be quote unquote normal. Mm-hmm. And the problem is doctors just aren't trained. They're not, they don't learn that in med school. Being able to take all those things and be able to sit here with somebody and tell them exactly what's wrong with them and provide them with a treatment protocol to help them move on. That's the problem, is it's just difficult, right? I don't think it's a blame on anyone, but it's just difficult. And so backing up, you never think about that when you're working, or when you're fighting, or when you're playing football. None of that stuff ever.
You can't really.
Right. Because shit is fun, and that's why you're doing it. You're not oh, I want to do this so I could have maybe a minor brain injury in the future. You don't really think about that. But ironically, so many parents I remember talking about I never put my kid in football, or because obvious, people are having major issues later in life. And I remember hearing that. They were so freaking right. They were so right.